Really cool article came out earlier today. Is it possible that one of our biggest enemies, one of our biggest foes, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful type of way, but the country of China, the People's Republic of China, is it possible that they're actually giving big ups, they're actually giving clout, and they're actually giving respect to a company like PALANTIR? I'm going to read you an article from earlier today, and you tell me if what they're saying about what's happening right now with the invasion of Ukraine, if you can honestly tell me that what they're saying right now does not fit into the plot of exactly what PALANTIR is doing, because they're talking about PALANTIR without actually naming them by name in this article. So I subscribe to this publication, South China Morning Post. It's going to cost me $11 a month, and that's okay because this is like the 10th publication that I have to bring you the most up-to-date news. So do me a favor and give me a like, a share, and subscribe. It would really help me with all the costs that I'm incurring to build up this channel, which I happily do for you guys. China spurred by Russia's setback in Ukraine to develop smarter military. PLA researchers say drones will use AI and publicly available photos from social media to identify, track, or kill high-ranking officials behind enemy lines. The war has also drawn China's attention to SpaceX's Starlink. The space internet has become a reality and changed the form of war. Understand what they just said about the data analytics and what they just said about space. And I want to remind you, PALANTIR has the Meta constellation where it can preemptively take raw data, process it through edge AI in space, and send the information back to you processed in Earth. No need for cloud software. PALANTIR is decentralizing the need for cloud. And people are not understanding this, and people are not giving PALANTIR enough credit. Let's move on. As an integrated platform for surveillance and combat, drone speeds up the operation of battlefield kill chain, making the progress of war faster and more flexible than ever. Right now they're talking about drones, but they're really talking about data analytics. And if you give me a moment, I'm going to show you the exact statement that they said about PALANTIR. Bear with me, I'm building a story. But China's current military drones need more advanced artificial intelligence to forecast the movement of enemy supply units and coordinate attacks automatically using high-speed communication links, the People's Liberation Army researcher said. What exactly is a high-speed communication link? This is literally what PALANTIR has, Edge AI. Edge AI is high-speed communication links. That's exactly what PALANTIR does. They are literally giving clout to PALANTIR. But this is not the statement that I actually want to read you. No. This is not the highlight of the article. Stick with me. This conflict will definitely set off a chain of reactions in the military and technology sector. The future war will be a clash between technologies and systems, said Meng and his collaborators from the People's Liberation Army Air Force Aviation University in Chengchun, Jilin Province. Although Russia has a much bigger air force, it could not prevent the Ukrainian military from launching drone attacks in the lower airspace, significantly damaging some high-value targets on the ground. And the Ukrainian drones worked surprisingly well because they had AI support from the US, and this is specifically going to be PALANTIR. Listen to what they say. In the conflict, the military of the third-party country has fed all battlefield intelligence and strike targets into the algorithm. The artificial intelligence system determined the strike targets, prioritized them according to the degree of threat, Ming said. Relying on the AI system and intelligence support of the third country, the military of the supported country could calculate and predict in advance the departure time, location, destination, and escort forces of the opponent's logistical convoy, and then send the TB2 drones to carry out precise strikes. And you would ask, why are they monitoring the war right now that's happening in Ukraine? Well, they're monitoring it in case they ever invade Taiwan. They want to know if they invade Taiwan, like Russia invaded Ukraine, will Taiwan be able to fight off China? Because China's army, very similar to Russia, is way, way overestimated. Russia's army was never as strong as everybody thought it was. China's army, in my opinion, is also not as strong as everybody thinks it is. Why? And I'm gonna take credit for this. Because of freaking Palantir. You heard what China just said. What other third-party company is working from the US to provide such logistical data information in near real time to Ukraine? What other company? What other company could do that? Maybe there's a handful of companies that have the capabilities of doing something like this, but only one company has the capability of actually doing this, and actually you know that they're in Ukraine right now. Which other company's CEO met with the president of Ukraine just the other day, and he went to Ukraine to talk with the president in person, shook his hands, gave him a hug? While 150 CEOs the other day met on CNBC through a freaking Zoom call to talk with President Zelensky. How freaking absolutely gangster is Palantir? Super G, 100% G. Their technology, top of the line. And that's what the haters don't understand. The people are like, oh, Palantir, it's overrated, da da da. You guys don't understand because you guys are not on this every single day. You guys are not rummaging through all the articles. You guys are not rummaging through all the tweets. You guys are not connecting the dots because you are super short-sighted. You don't see past what's in front of your hand. You don't understand the value that Palantir brings to our every single day life, to America, and to America's allies. And that's going to be the difference between Palantir being a $20 billion company and Palantir being a $1 trillion market cap company in the next 10 years. Because once you use Palantir, you're never going to go back. It's happening in the commercial sectors, it's happening in the military government sectors, and it's happening in all sectors of the government right now. Palantir is going to be a household name within the next 10 years and is going to be synonymous with United States safety and United States allies safety. Now, Palantir is currently down. It's trading just north of $8. It's down nearly 6% for the day, like the entire market. Right now, I think Palantir is probably going to go down a lot lower. What are you going to do about it? For me, I'm going to take advantage of the dip, and I am going to pick my position to pick up more shares of Palantir. But I already have a lot of shares of Palantir. You can do to Palantir like I'm doing to a lot of other stocks, not financial advice, purely entertainment and educational purposes only. Pick your spots and pick up positions that you did not pick up before this whole bear market. Take advantage of the dip. If you ever wanted to get into Palantir and you weren't able to get into Palantir, do your own research. And if you still like what you hear about Palantir, if you still like what you read about Palantir, take advantage of the freaking situation right now. Who doesn't want a 50x in the next 10 years? Not saying we will get it, but in my opinion, we will. But my opinion is worthless. And all that matters is your opinion and your research, and do what's good for you. Go with your gut. For me, my entire gut is filled with PLTR.